Hello and welcome to Health Services 411, a program designed to keep you updated, informed, and educated about activities, events, and policies of the BVI Health Services Authority. I'm your host, Marketing and Communications Manager, Natasha Letzam. Hello, for today's 411, we're at the lab. Let's see what type of information we'll come across today. For today's 411, we're here in the lab and we're here with our manager, Miss Colette McCurdy.
Now we're visiting the last department, which is our blood banking department, and prospective molecular pathology, or PCR, or DNA, or RNA. They all say this, that they all refer to the same thing, in that we will be using polymerase chain reaction technology to perform some of the testing that we do. So this is our blood bank. We try not to have it filled to the max because as a small territory, we don't need 50 units of blood on hand. Well, we try to keep it to a minimum of like 20. So in case of anything, we don't have to worry about, do we have enough blood for a traumatic situation? We have enough to at least keep the patient stable. We've had a situation right here in our little blood bank where one patient used 22 units of blood within 24 hours. And we were able to use from our supplies and call in donors and screen them and be able to satisfy that need without having to import. We do import blood, but I'm happy to say that at that time we were able to satisfy the need to answer that call for the blood.
No, we've heard that call many times where persons would get on the radio or send WhatsApp messages saying, okay, peoples, we need B positive blood, for instance, and persons with that type of blood should come down and donate. Now, when people make those types of plea, say for instance, a cousin is in there and we need B positive blood. When I come to donate, is my blood really going to this cousin or is it coming to be a part of the blood bank? How does that whole process work?
It depends on the need, the nature of this need for the blood. If it's an elective surgery, like your cousin is going into surgery and they need to have blood on reserve, there's a very good chance that if you come early enough, we get all the screening done before your cousin comes into hospital, and you request that your cousin get only the blood that you donate, yes, we can satisfy that request. If it's an emergency now, to you it doesn't matter whose blood you get. You just need blood. And so in that case, when you are coming to give blood in a situation like that, you will just be replacing the blood that we might have already given to your cousin or are in the process of preparing to give to your cousin. Because we don't just take the blood and give it to your cousin like that. It has to be screened. We have to test it for. There are a set number of tests that we have to perform to be satisfied that this is good enough to be transfused to not you per se, but any person. So there's a good chance that you might come and we might find something is wrong with it. And also, you might come to give blood for your cousin, yes, but then when we try to do the cross match, your blood is not compatible for whatever reason with your cousin's. It doesn't mean that you will be lying there and we're not doing anything about it. We will still be using from what we have in the bank.
And in terms of what you have on storage now, what would you say is your most common blood type and which blood type you find hardest to reach?
The most common blood type, anywhere you go, 55% or more of the population is group O. And so you'd find that readily. The most rare blood type that you would find is AB negative. And if it's AB negative, then you have options. You can get blood from any one of the negatives. Let's say you're O negative now. You can only get from O negative. So the negatives are a very small population of people. And here in the BVI, we've called those O negatives donors so often that sometimes they don't even want to answer their phone. They pick up the phone and say, "What, hospital? You want blood, right?" But we have a good relationship with our negative donors, and sometimes when people, let's say you send your donor here to give blood, and one of those donors that you sent is a negative, we would defer that donation and ask the person to be registered so that we can call them when there is a real need for a negative blood. If you send a negative donor here, the only reason we would take it is because our negative stock is low, or that you need multiple units of blood, and yes, we have to take it then.
And how long does the blood last?
Well, the blood, it varies, depends on the anticoagulant or the anticoagulant and the nutrient that you're using to keep it stable. It ranges from 21 days to 42 days. The 21 days for a society like this, because we don't use blood every day, we don't normally stock the blood bags with that preservative. We would stock the blood bags that will have a shelf life of 35 days.
And what are your plans for expanding the unit?
We have great plans to expand our unit. If you look over there, this is our PCR equipment, and that should be set up soon, and we'll be able to do a lot of stuff that we sending away right now. We do like we've started a cancer program here, and we want to start doing like your HPVs. That's the virus that would cause cervical cancer. We want to be able to screen. We're going to offer that service. We're going to use it primarily, though, for screening of our blood products, blood donors, and the products that we extract from them. We've acquired a new blood donation, a piece of apheresis machine. And where instead of taking a whole unit of blood, if we need platelets, we just take platelets. If we need plasma, we just take plasma. If we need packed RBCs, leukocyte-reduced RBCs, that's what we take. That will be commissioned tomorrow.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yes, so we're excited about all the new equipment that we're going to be commissioning soon. We just had our liquid-based cytology machine installed because we were using the old system of doing pap smears, and it's a manual thing. You have to look at it under the microscope, and there's a very good chance that you might misdiagnose, or you might, because you're moving from field to field, you might have missed something significant between one field and the other. So that's why we gonna, whatever is missed on that using the liquid-based cytology, we will capture it using our PCR.
And are you going to expand to offer DNA testing sometime in the future?
We are thinking about it. We've been asked already, even though our analyzer hasn't been commissioned as yet. That's one of the first questions we were asked by one of our pediatricians. Are you going to be doing paternity testing? We will see. It depends on the demand.
Definitely, and these times of today, that demand might be high. So, Ms. McCurdy, I want to thank you for the opportunity to bring us here into the lab. This was my first time into the lab, and it was an awesome experience. And to see the depth of what you guys do here was definitely a good experience. But I want you to, as we begin to wrap up the program, speak a little bit about your staff, the complement of staff you have, and also opportunities for a career in laboratory.
A career in the laboratory, especially as a medical technologist, is, yes, I'm biased, so I would say it's one of the best areas of work in the whole hospital. We do a lot of investigation, and without the lab, as one medtech, one lab week team slogan was, without the lab, you'd just be guessing. We are the backbone behind any medical institution. We tell you what's wrong, we tell you how to treat it. And so I think that says a whole lot for our role in not only in the institution, but on all walks in all aspects of the society. We have right now a complement of 7 technologists, but we're expanding to Virgin Gorda, and there will be need for more technologists. We need technicians, we need phlebotomists. So I will encourage young, be like me. When I was in high school, on my last week of high school, we had a technologist come in to talk about what we as technologists do. And I fell in love with the profession, and I've been a medical technologist for the last more than 40 years now. Yes. And I still like it. I still love it. I still like the fast pace of being in a lab, and to know that the difference you make in terms of treatment, in terms of diagnosis, in terms of life.
Well, I want to thank you once again for coming on the program, and just to leave with us a few tips as we wrap up to help your clients, as you call them, to help you to do the best possible job you can. What are some of the tips that you can leave with them so that they could ensure that whatever specimens, whatever sample, whatever work they do with the lab is as accurate as possible?
Follow your doctor's instructions about your specimen collection. If you're in doubt, come to the lab and we'll happily advise you. When we say that something can't be done, it's because it really can be done. We want to help you, and we can only help you when you're following the instructions that were given to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Health Services 411. Please like and share this video and follow us at the pages below as we seek to improve the pulse of the people of the territory. Until next time, remember, your health is your wealth. Reporting for the BVI Health Services Authority, I am Marketing and Communications Manager, Natasha Letza.